We out here, Cinco de la Playa, de la Mayo. I'm with the muchacha y muchacho. Arrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr
What up, everybody, and welcome back to the sound of... Wait, what am I doing? I am fucking up, y'all. Wait, let's try this again. What up, everybody? It's Cinco de Mayo. This is the Sound of Violence podcast. Not when you're hearing this, it's not. But when we're recording it, it sure as fuck is. We are the Sound of Violence podcast. If you don't know, we listen to a shitload of MMA podcasts, and we let you know which ones you should be listening to each week, and we try and catch any new ones that have recently come out. Chris is here with me, my co-host. What up, bruh?
Yet again, I am here on the marvelous Drinko de Mayo.
That's right, as white people love calling it. Yep. They fucking are so into that shit.
Oh, yeah.
We are, speaking of which, we should mention we're drinking Bohemia Classica.
German Mexican beer?
That's right. The best kind of Mexican beer, I would like to add. So we are going to talk about... We actually took last week off, and you finally heard our Fight Valley commentary. Apologies to so many people.
To women.
Right. Mostly to women. Mostly to a certain woman. That we're not going to bring up on the show because she keeps whining. She also assaulted the very nice Megan Anderson on a certain show.
Dude, I hate when Ariel fucking does that.
It's the worst. He did it twice this week. It's so annoying. It's like, we got...
Yeah, guess who I got on the phone?
I love Howard Stern.
Because I know what he did.
Jesus, bro. Yeah, no, it's very... It's because Ariel for sure has a hard-on for Howard Stern. He's like... No, he's like, I'm like the MMA Jew version of Howard Stern. And Eric is just as Robin, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Very clearly.
So I remember the whole Rampage thing. He's like, oh, I'm like a love doctor. I could get people back together. It's like, dude, coming from a guy who's married to a 21-year-old, I don't know about that.
Right. Also, pretty sure Ariel owes Rampage a girlfriend and $1 million, if I remember right as well. Yeah. Anyway, we're way off topic. So, our first segment, if you guys don't know, we go through and we talk about the podcast we've been listening to. Our second segment, we are going to talk about whatever fights we heard, and we aren't going to have a third segment this week because there aren't many fights this weekend. There was a Victory FC card that's actually happening right now that I should put on in the background later. And then we also have there's a Cage Warriors card tomorrow. And I think there's a Combate Americas today too. 14 maybe. And LFA. But I think that's it. Apart from there's that Canelo fight tomorrow. Have you heard anything about the Canelo fight?
Yeah, I'm actually probably going to watch it tomorrow at my buddy Jorge's house.
Nice.
His family's hosting this thing.
It's a very friendly Mexican friendly card.
It's like a charity event, I guess, for one of his neighbors to help him go to school. Either way, I'm gonna bring some money or some food. I want to watch the Canelo fight, but then again, I am a hypocrite, everyone, because when I was in Europe, and I remember I mentioned this on one of the podcasts, I watched the Kovalev versus Ward fight, which was bullshit, unanimous decision. It should not have been unanimous, and I told myself there on the air on the Sound of Violence podcast I would never watch a boxing fight again unless it was a high-profile fight. But then again, I don't know. I'm just talking circles around myself, apparently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
part of me doesn't want to watch boxing because I expect certain specific outcomes. You know, unlike the Klitschko fight that I have yet to see. Which
we will actually talk.
Great.
We'll talk about that in the next segment. You and me will probably.
But
watch
either way,
that.
I will probably watch in a fight tomorrow because I just want to see Canelo knock the fuck out of Chavez Jr., who's like old, right? I don't know. I don't even remember.
I don't think he's old. Oh. He's the kid of Julio Cesar Chavez.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, I actually haven't seen him fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Juan Manuel Marquez, and then the one other dude. One of the guys.
I don't know. I'm terrible at boxing,
I know,
but
yeah.
I'm kind of excited. I think I'll check that out. We got way off topic because I brought up boxing. I don't know why the fuck I went that direction. But yeah, we will actually talk briefly about that Klitschko fight because it was actually fucking awesome. So I guess we should get into MMA podcasts that we've been listening to. Oh, but first we should mention our intro. You guys are probably wondering what the fuck that was. We were talking about how it's Cinco de Mayo, and that did talk about Cinco de Mayo, kind of. I believe he called it Cinco, like he called it the 5th of the beach of May, if I remember right.
Yeah. He's the 5th of the beach of the May.
Yeah, so Aljamain Sterling, as we're recording this, right before we started recording, Aljamain Sterling and Ally Quinta are fucking going off on Twitter, yelling all kinds of crazy shit. It feels like they just basically Googled everybody in the top 10 and tweeted them talking shit.
You said Al was going off too, right?
Yeah, go ahead and pull up Ally Quinta's Twitter and we'll read one of them off. But what you heard in the intro was Aljamain Sterling super trashed with whatever Latina chick he's hanging out with.
Should I just play it right now? No.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, we just heard it. We just heard it on the intro.
Shit.
But
yeah.
But it's fucking hilarious. You should look up Ally Quintas.
I am right now.
You should just search his Twitter. But yeah, hilarious. So evidently, Aljamain Sterling has been hanging out with this Latina chick and getting fucked up the entire time, and he's just tweeting crazy shit at random fighters in the top 10. I believe he called John Dodson a Goomba. Just weird shit. He's clearly so trashed that he should not be tweeting, but it's fucking amazing. He started talking shit to some random dude. It's just, it's real good. And then Ally Quinta is doing his normal Ally Quinta. Did you search his name?
Yeah, but it didn't show any tweets from today. All he was doing is retweeting and following.
Oh, so he definitely deleted that shit already.
Oh, okay, really? Well,
so if you go to our Twitter, we probably have a bunch of old deleted ones. But anyway, Ally Quinta was throwing fucking shade around, too. It was real funny. I believe he told... God, who was it? He definitely tweeted Mike Perry a couple times telling him to go fuck himself. And all kinds of shit like that. Real good. But anyway, we should actually jump into our segment for this week. So, Chris, you said you listened to we were talking right before this, you said you listened to the MMA Fortnight this week, right?
Yeah, but like one guest, unfortunately, man. Just a discrepancy for people who are learning, I am a full-time student. I know you could not give any fucks about that, but it's just as far as me listening to podcasts throughout the week, it was tough for me this week because I have finals.
Well, good news is you are bringing us extra content this week that you will find up on our website. We're actually, Chris just this week, since he finished his classes with finals and everything, we're going to be posting all of his Alliance stuff. So we'll have a link on the website in our articles section. If you click the articles link, it'll bring you to the one that Chris did for school where you went to Alliance and talked to a bunch of people, right?
Yeah. Got to interview Kat Zingano and some coaches there and stuff.
Yeah, briefly talked to like Wilson Hayes and a couple people.
Yeah, it was more or less like, hey man, how's it going, that kind of thing. You know, they're busy because he was in the middle of camp against Demetrius.
I mean, that was like 3 weeks out from that fight.
Yeah.
So, but at some point maybe we'll use some of the audio or something from that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And throw it in one of our segments or something.
Yeah, we can do that. But as far as listening to MMA Fortnight, I only listened to one guest, and that was the Dominic Cruz interview, which was a great interview.
Yeah. Dominic Cruz was funny.
He was basically just telling Ariel, because it'd been a while, it's been, you know, how, and a lot of people forgot about this too, including myself when I watched the fight, that he still had his issues with the plantar fasciitis when he was fighting Garbrandt.
Absolutely.
So, not, you know, that's not making an excuse for Cruz, because obviously he still lost, but, you know, there's some factors that come in. You know, I always assume no one's ever really 100% going into a fight, especially when you're sparring all the time and training. You got to have some bumps and bruises and everything, but he seems focused on getting that title shot immediately. You know, depending, I think it's at 213. Yeah, Garbrandt and Dillashaw is going to be, I'm assuming, the co-main, but it's probably just be the main event, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, because there's TJ said on that show also later on that he's still not sure, because the main was supposed to be GSP Bisping.
Yeah, so. But that looks like it could be 214.
Right, so he's still 215.
Yeah,
so he's still waiting to see whether or not he's actually.
Yeah, because as of right now, at least according to SureDog, the main event is Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw, Then you got Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. Then you got Fabricio Verdum and Alistair Overeem 3. Then you got Robbie Lawler and Cowboy. You got Anthony Pettis and Jim Miller.
I forgot Robbie Lawler's fighting Cowboy.
Yeah,
that's a good fight.
Honestly, the Cowboy, that's a do or die fight for him, man. If he beats him, then he stays up there. If he loses, he's toast. He is fucking toast.
Well, not toast, but
he'll never win a belt. I mean, that's so rude. Well, I should say never, but you know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see
his
how that
window
fight
for
goes.
opportunity will be closing.
Robbie's so scary that, like, if he catches anybody the right way, they're going to sleep. He's the Anthony Johnson of that weight class, where, like, if he fucking gets gets going and clips you bad and can drag you into deep water, he will fuck you up. But he also has a tendency to take a lot of damage. Yeah, Dominic Cruz overall was pretty good. They had Valerie Letourneau on, who just recently signed to Bellator 125.
Right? Yeah, UFC fucked up.
Yeah, which is ironic because she was talking all this shit about how the UFC doesn't want a 125 division.
And then, of course, what did they just announce?
Was it 2 days later they announced a 125 division, which they sent a press release out to all of the journalists. And then Dana White went on fucking ESPN or somewhere and said that, oh, wait, no, we're not actually sure if we're going to do that or not. That wasn't supposed to go out. So we don't know if we're actually going to do a 125 division.
They're going to do it. They're not going to back out of that. They get too much backlash.
I agree, but it's the weirdest.
Knowing Dana White, you'd be surprised.
It's just the weirdest bullshit of all time, though. It's like, of course they would back off of it, and it'd be real fucking weird and shady. James Gallagher was on and was actually pretty entertaining. Unlike Artem Lobov, he was fine.
I'll give him credit. I did see clips of the fight. He's a tough son of a bitch. I'll give him credit. He can take a beating. And he fought back a little bit. He's a tough guy.
He didn't do terrible.
Yeah. So
I'm still not.
He's better than his record says. I'll give him that. But his record is still his record.
He's exactly as good as his record says.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah. But then again, yeah.
But I know what you're saying, yeah. Some other things to note on there. James Gallagher was actually pretty entertaining. Was talking mad shit about some dude. TJ Dillashaw came on. Was actually pretty funny and was joking around about all the Ultimate Fighter shit and how, like,
I was gonna say,
dude,
I'm caught up
from that interview. It sounds like fucking Faber is
Faber
full of mad shit.
I'm gonna say right now.
I'm
gonna say right now. I'm caught up for anyone else who's listening to watch this season of Ultimate Fighter. I think it's a great season.
We're 3 episodes in.
Yeah, we're 3 episodes in. All I'm gonna say is, as far as the whole dispute between TJ being a snake and all that bullshit. In my eyes, man, and just reading the raw emotion of
Faber
TJ,
having a small dick and not having any money. Yeah,
Faber. It is all Uriah Faber. That's what it's been from the start. Do I apologize for jokingly calling TJ snake? No, because it's the internet. It's funny. But I think TJ is actually genuine in how he's expressing.
So you're saying I've been right the entire time, Chris? Is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, because didn't you say?
I've always been saying that it's just Faber because Faber was the manager and got a percentage off TJ.
I should have realized
that. And then when TJ became champ,
no. I should have realized it sooner. I should have realized it sooner last June when Cruz was talking about that too. When he's like, "Oh, you're just gonna pimp out your boys because you're their manager, and if they go somewhere else."
That's always like subtly been a thing with. It's kind of like how Johnny Hendrick was with that one camp where he had to pay him like some fucking insane percentage.
Yeah.
Like
and to be fair, I lost
crazy.
all respect for Faber once he called Cruz and Dillashaw steroid users anyway, so that was out the window a year ago.
I mean, I love Faber, don't get me wrong. I think he's a fucking funny dude.
Oh, he'd
probably be great to grab a drink with or something. But,
yeah, I'm sure. It just in the fight game, I don't respect the guy.
I just think him and Cody are kind of full shit when it comes to the whole TJ thing, and they just have like.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of that knockout video, well, according to Matt Serra, it happened because Justin Buckles showed him because when I listened to that.
I believe it, dude, but I believe there might be one of the other way that just wasn't recorded.
Oh no, what I believe happened is Dillashaw was always whooping on Cody, and then one day he knocked him out, and then it happened. And
also, I'm curious to see whether the knockout video, like, no one's talked about whether it's in sparring or Cody just walked up and fucking blind TKO, like blind KO TJ.
I doubt that because they wouldn't want to release that if it's just like he just walks up and blind KOs him.
Right, but if it's like they're like, oh, you want to start some shit, and then TJ pushes him and Cody decks him and drops him.
I grabbed him. I'm an eagle. I grabbed him like I grab a snake.
Yeah, oh god, his fucking metaphors. He's the worst Native American of all time.
Oh yeah, right. He's like part Native American.
Is he? I was just making that up.
No, I swear to God, I think he actually said that. Actually said that.
Oh, that explains his fucking cave painting tattoos he has.
I mean that, but what was funny though too is that he on the show. He's the worst at shit talking out of any fighter. We know that already, especially when he said, "Eat everything you got."
Have you seen Aljamain Sterling's Twitter tonight when he's blacked out on Cinco de Mayo?
No.
He called Dodson a Goomba. That's the worst.
Unless he's Italian, then it doesn't make sense.
I mean, he does hang out with Sarah Longo.
Yeah, that is true.
No, I think he meant like Mario style.
Oh yeah. Oh, because he's short. Yeah. Okay.
Not good. Oh boy. Anyway, we should get back on topic. What else do they have on? Oh, Megan Anderson and the fucking awkwardness that is Cyborg. Antonio Tarver.
Oh, former
Mason
boxer.
the Line Dixon.
That's that guy who played that guy.
I knew you would know right away if I said that.
That's right.
He is now the boxing coach for Black Zillions.
Oh, I thought Black Zillions was done?
Well, no, because Glenn Robinson has a dream.
Okay.
That he just won't fucking let die, despite how many people tell him to just stop it already. Henry Hoof left, and he brought in fucking Antonio Tarver, who had a crazy interview, mostly about how people are scared to fight him in boxing, and how he can't get any fights in boxing.
Wait. First of all, was this guy ever a champ?
First
of all, let's just say this.
He was an Olympic gold
I was gonna say this. Good for him. I already asked was he ever a champ, but then I think there's like 10 titles in boxing.
I think he was. Yeah.
There's like 10 belts in boxing, so who cares?
But he did talk. He did talk briefly about the Connor fight, and he shit all over Ariel. Well, you know, because Ariel, yes, but in the best way.
No, this is
He's
Ariel.
Like, no,
watch. This is watch.
Ariel, no.
This is watch. This is
You
watch.
got real mad.
Yeah, but Tony, you have to understand. Don't you think Connor at least has a puncher's chance?
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
Watch. This is face look, right? Yeah, he just does that. Yeah.
It's super funny. I was laughing my ass off because he was just shutting Ariel the fuck down. That happened on 2 podcasts this week. Fucking Mario Lopez did that to Brennan Schaub this week too. Where he's like, "No, you idiot! What the fuck are you talking about? No, he'll get KO'd. What are you talking about?" It's like, oh, thank God, boxing people are realistic. Fucking MMA fans all want to high five Conor. It's possible.
That's like
though.
me going like this. Yeah, I can place top 10 in a NASCAR race because I can turn left a little bit better.
I could win the Olympic gold wrestling if I just fail on enough people.
Yeah, just some shit. Yeah,
like, fuck, man.
Come on.
Different sport. Anyway, Anderson Silva was on talking mad shit about the UFC.
Oh, was this the thing about I'm gonna retire if they don't give me an interim lightweight interim title belt fight against Yoel?
Yep, and then also Tommy Tohold even was quoted this week on his podcast saying, Anderson Silva said fuck more times in that interview than I say on the Tommy Tohold show, which is a lot. So pretty funny, and it was crazy hearing him all pissy. And then New York Rick shit.
Oh yeah, wannabe Jon Snow for all the Game of Thrones people when that dude had his little fucking hair.
There you go. Let's see. What else did I have? I have so many fucking podcasts I've listened to since we've been off for a bit. Heavy Hands have been doing a lot of good stuff. They had an interview with Jimmy Rivera that was really good.
Oh, I saw. Who did he say he wanted to fight? Fuck.
It's their Patreon only episode,
But someone on Reddit who has the Patreon thing
posted it?
Yeah.
That's cool. They probably even got permission.
Who did they say? What did he say? I know at one point he said I would school Dominic Cruz, but I think that was last year.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head, but he definitely says...
I think
TJ.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about the boxing
that's
footage
right,
of him
he said, TJ, I sparred with him, and he doesn't hit hard. Yeah, that's what he said.
That footage is out there, and Jimmy... Well, it's only the footage of Jimmy getting the best of exchanges, and it's edited, but Jimmy did get the best of some exchanges. Also, though, it should be noted that's pre-Bang Ludwig TJ.
Okay.
Which is a big difference.
Yes. It is.
But it was cool hearing Jimmy Rivera. He's super smart, and I really like that guy. I'm stoked to hear more of him in the future. Eddie Bravo did also record a new Eddie Bravo radio episode with a 9/11 truther. So if you
I was just about to say, was it called Tower 7 Tuesdays or something?
Literally, might as well have been. It was with an architect.
Oh, great.
Who says that it was bullshit.
Steel and jet fuel.
Yeah. I just can't, you guys. So I'm gonna let that one go.
It's like, dude, it's like, I think you're 5 years too late.
Yeah.
We were talking about this in like.
No, he's been talking about it since. He's not gonna let it go. Edgy Bra doesn't care.
But
bro.
yeah, people were talking about like 2011, 2012. Now they just are over it. Like, come on.
He's not over it, man. Let's see. I have been listening to. You said you only listened to MMA this week, right?
Yeah, I listened to I think like the last 4 episodes. Well, I didn't listen to the episode from yesterday on Unfiltered, but I've listened to Unfiltered. It's easier to listen to when I'm on Spotify and stuff.
Yeah, so we were talking about Unfiltered actually. There was a couple good episodes, and I caught the one you were talking about.
The one I listened to. This was from April 25th. They had 2 episodes. TJ Dillashaw, Eddie Gordon. It was all tough talk, basically.
Yeah, I missed that one.
But TJ, he was basically explaining his story, and just like we were saying that he literally is the victim because he got ultimatum proved by Faber, you know.
Right.
Because when I was watching, because after I listened to that, I went back and watched the other Tough episodes, and yes, Faber does contradict himself multiple times. And why else would Garber be saying he's playing the victim? Why? Okay, then why you calling him a victim? Because you're bullying the guy, you know what I mean? So, and they're just jealous. They're fucking jealous. So,
right.
I mean,
well, and also TJ's been super calm through this whole thing, where they're all like really aggressive.
You would know
and weird.
TJ is the snake or bullshit if he was the one like being all aggressive and stuff.
Especially since he's the one that's known to be a bully in the gym and a shithead a little bit in training.
Like, I don't doubt that, sure, because it's like his fight mentality. Maybe he was a dick when he does that, whatever. But as far as like him being ousted, he just kept saying, I quit. And he literally was like on the verge of fucking crying. That either he has some Oscar-worthy acting, you know, or he's telling the truth. I'm obviously going to go with the latter, so...
Also, it's hilarious that he's 3-0 against Cody right now, and Cody's real pissy about it.
Oh, yeah.
He's not
great.
taking it well.
And that's the thing, too. This is kind of some spoilers. Some people were expecting certain outcomes of the fight. People had no idea, and of course I knew this happened. They're like, oh, how did Jesse Taylor beat Mehdi Baghdad? This is a spoiler for last week.
Wrestling,
because
you dumb idiots.
Hello?
What the fuck? Have you ever watched either of them fight? Jesse Taylor, just because he kicks out windows doesn't mean he's terrible at wrestling. This was
Garbrandt, obviously not even in the corner because he sits on the bench. Get up. Get up. That's all he says. Get your hips up. Get up, Mehdi. Get up. Get up. Like, come on, dude. Even Connor was a better coach than you.
Yeah. Wow.
But then again, I'll be
Depends
fair.
on who
I'll
you
be
were.
fair to Cody though. He's still young and he's never been a coach, so whatever. Not saying he's coach material,
Well,
but you know
also,
what I mean.
yeah.
He's not used to that, so I get it. Yeah. All I know is since watching Tough, TJ is gonna be a fucking great coach.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh, he's gonna be great.
He's super technical. He reminds me of Dwayne a lot.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. The other one I listened to is Justin Buchholz and Joe Stevenson. I had never heard Joe Stevenson talk in an interview. He's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He was a really soft-spoken
Love Joe
guy.
Stevenson. He's a super smart
What
guy.
was interesting, too, is when he was talking about dealing with his alcoholism, he was like, oh, I'm not a violent drunk or anything. I just get drunk because like, it just made me feel good, and I was just bored. Maybe it gets rid of all the stress. And I was like, I mean, it's still depressing in a way, you know, especially when you deal with something like that.
He seemed like a pretty manageable drunk, though.
But yeah,
like,
manageable person, yeah.
But it's just not manageable if you're trying to, like, fucking fight for a living.
Yeah.
You can't drink like he was
because
drinking.
he said by the bottom
me,
line.
Me on the other hand, I can do my job.
Yeah, he said the bottom
job.
line when the reason why he quit is because his kids got worried. He's like, oh, well, I gotta help my kids obviously and take care of them, so I don't want.
Yeah.
to
Also, if you have kids, it kind of
if
you have kids, it kind of takes away from your drinking time.
Yeah, that one, and then the episode I listened to today was with Platinum Mike Perry. I can talk to God. What a fucking great
episode. The whole episode was awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
Dean Thomas was in the studio. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Which is always good because Dean Thomas busts Matt's balls so bad, and Dean's hilarious.
I got a tattoo. I want Matt.
Yeah, they talked a bit about the San Diego episode for the show we went to.
Oh, I didn't get that far.
Oh yeah, so they talked a little bit. They talked about like, oh, we were in San Diego. They went to Matt and Sarah wanted pizza, and you couldn't find pizza in San Diego after like 2 a.m. obviously. Because, like, what...
Oh, is this, like, after the fight?
Yeah, what fucking pizza place is 24-hour in this city?
No
Probably
one.
none. Like,
What's
I don't
wrong,
know.
fake pizza?
So they went to 7-Eleven to get pizza, and evidently some drunk guy started fucking with Matt Serra, and then, like, Matt Serra went to get drinks or whatever, went to get, like, whatever he went to get, and then the guy leaned to Dean Thomas, he's like, I'm gonna fuck with your boy. Dean's like, don't do that! That's a bad idea, don't do that!
God.
So evidently the dude, like, fucks with Matt Serra, and it was fucking ridiculous. But it was funny hearing them talk briefly about the CFFC 64, I believe it was,
64,
show that we went to. It was pretty cool, and by the sounds of it, like, it should be a good episode. They said they had a lot of fun, so I'm excited to see that episode of Looking for a Fight. I think that's gonna be cool.
Hell yeah.
And then who else was on that episode? Buckholz? No,
it was Tyron, and then Dean. It was just Mike Perry and Tyron.
Oh,
the guest,
yeah.
And
Mike
Dean
Perry.
Was the co-host.
Mike Perry, yeah. So Dean, and actually this segues perfectly because Dean Thomas and Tyron Woodley put out another Deez Nuts episode.
Yeah,
finally.
it's been months, dude.
It's been fucking forever.
It's been like honestly 6 months.
Yeah, Dean Thomas has been actually said that on the show. He's like, everybody keeps asking me where the new episodes are at. So yeah, Tyron talked a bit about how everybody's asking Dean who's he fighting.
Okay, real quick, who do you think he's fighting? Because what's the rumor? What I read on Reddit is that it's someone who's not even like ranked at welterweight or something, and they said it'll blow your mind.
I think it's probably Diaz.
But someone said it's not Nick Diaz though. That's a seed. So that's what someone said on Reddit. They said. Okay, so let's think about this. Who could it be? Right? Not Diaz. That would still blow your mind. Let's think. Let's like what would it? Who would it fucking be? I think it'd be someone dropping weight or going up from lightweight. But I don't.
None of that makes sense though for Tyron.
Either way, for now, let's just think it's Nick Diaz because that's
Connor.
I don't think I don't think it's Connor.
Connor doesn't want that fight at all.
No, it's not Connor because he's still working on Mayweather. So
yeah, well, that's hilarious.
He's trying.
Yeah. Well, by the way, that talk is banned from this show, sir.
I know, but
because it's a fake fucking fight that's never gonna happen.
It's fake news.
It's goddamn Donald Trump news.
Yeah.
That shit is never gonna happen.
For now, we'll just say he's gonna fight Nick Diaz in July or whatever. We have no idea, but I don't know who else it would be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's my only guess, and it's only because Nate was a little weird about it.
Unless the UFC secretly signed Ben Askren and he's fighting him, that would be
the best shit of all time. It'll never happen because they fucking hate Ben Askren. Also, Ben Askren has a fight booked in like a month. Actually, in like 2 weeks, I think it is. Let's see. So I should go through some more of the podcasts I've been listening to since we've had a long break. Carson's Corner. This is a guy who posts on the MMA Underground a lot. Good guy. Just a nice dude in general. And he is based out of Vegas. He runs like, I don't know, it's kind of a political show, but they also do MMA content. It's a fucking weird show. But he had on the owner of Tuff N Uff, the small, I believe it's like partially amateur. It's like some amateur fights, some pro fights.
Yeah.
They're based out of Vegas. A lot of people got their start with them. But it was cool hearing him, and he was talking about how he's carrying on. The guy who's running it now is carrying on the legacy of his brother who died, who started the promotion.
That's cool.
So it was just a cool segment, and then the dude from the Underground, who I can't remember the fucking name of, because it's a weird fucking Underground screen name, but the fighter that came up under them was also on the show, and he was great as always. I can't remember his goddamn name, unfortunately, but he was a good dude. Let's see, Big Brown Breakdown, he had on Tony Jeffries. Great episode. Tony Jeffries, if you don't know, professional boxer, was the boxing coach for Brennan Schaub for a long time. And super funny guy, super personable. Just a fun episode where they talked a lot about boxing. They talked a lot about the Klitschko fight leading up to it. And
see, because like I want to get back into boxing, but I always keep.
It's a good time.
Like this is the thing, I'll still watch boxing. It just depends. It's just if the decisions are gonna go their way to go, and you don't think they're right, you're obviously gonna call them not rigged. I mean, I'm trying to say it's tough. It depends on the fight. So. Definitely. I'm probably gonna watch the Canelo fight because I like watching Canelo. So
yeah, and it's a good time to get back into boxing. Boxing has had
it's blooming.
Some great cards.
It's blooming again.
Yeah, they've had some great cards.
Especially if you get to like those featherweight guys who are like 125 pounds. I think that's what featherweight is boxing. I always get the weight divisions wrong, but he's like Vasily Lomachenko.
Oh yeah, Lomachenko. The guy who's sparred with TJ.
Yeah, that guy is fucking great. Yeah, I think his walk around weight's about like 145.
He's a beast. He was on like antibiotics and shit and a bunch of stuff and like super sick.
I think he's from the Ukraine.
Something like that.
Yeah. Or he could be from Kazakhstan, like Triple G.
No, I think he's from the Ukraine or some Eastern European shit. Let's see. MMA depressed us. They did Melendez versus Aoki. Great fun. I love this show. It's my favorite show right now. They also did Kazushi Sakuraba versus Gillis Arsene. I'm gonna go with. That's wrong, probably.
Wait, what? What does it look like?
Kazushi Sakuraba versus.
It's probably
Guille.
It's probably Guille or Sene or some retarded.
Yeah, and then Brown versus Verdum 2, which is the one where he runs forward and throws the fucking front kick. Connor was actually in the audience.
Oh, and
of
course
show.
your boy Edmund.
Yeah,
what a fucking goal, bro!
Oh, yeah.
At the end.
Oh yeah.
Verdum's just like this. Yeah.
It's a real good series of that show is subtly becoming my favorite podcast. I actually tweeted I think this week that I'm secretly cheering for weekends without MMA cards because then that's when they do MMA depressed us. Yeah. So they have a week off. So it kind of makes me wish more weekends didn't have MMA cards. That show's so good. You know what? I'll go ahead and jump right into this week's one they put out since we're talking about it. I have a lot to say about this one. MMA depressed us. They did Jardine versus Gegard Mousasi in Strikeforce. They also did Ren Nakai versus Leslie Smith, and they did a tough China fight with dudes' names.
How about this? Pick the whole season for MMA depressed us of that show.
Yeah. Oh, they
pick the whole fucking season.
Well, that's the thing is, it wasn't even a Tough China finale or the Tough China.
Oh, didn't you tell me? Wait. What happened? What happened to those dudes again? Because didn't you say something fucked up happened? They couldn't have the finale.
I don't remember.
I remember you told me like both fighters got disqualified. I think it was something ridiculous.
That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know.
I think it was something like how the fuck does it happen kind of situation.
I don't even remember Tough China. I
just remember Kung Lee was like the coach or a coach.
I don't remember. I watched all of it. I remember 0% except for the Li Jiangalang. I think he was on. I think Ling Jiangalang was on it, but that's about all I know.
If you're gonna watch any Tough outside of the American version,
it's Tough Brazil season 1 or
Latin America season 1's great too, man.
No, Rodriguez, fuck Latin America season 1 compared to Tough Smashes.
Oh, with Robert Whittaker, Australia.
That's a great season.
UK, that one's good too.
Yeah. Those are the two I would say is Tough Brazil season 1 or
I don't know, dude. Latin America
Smashes.
one's pretty good though. Season 1's good because that's like Marlon Chito Vera. You have like
no, there's some good guys,
Diaz,
but I'm just saying in comparison to those other two seasons, because season 1, even Tough Brazil 2 is like pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but like I love one with like Hugo Vienna and all those dudes who are like and like Hani Jason and all those guys who are just fucking murdering everybody like. Spoiler alert: Honey Jason was juice to the gills, evidently. But
there you go.
Pretty interesting. Anyway, back to MMA depressed us. They talked a lot about Ren Nakai's creepy Japanese MMA modeling that she does with like fucking weird bodybuilder kink fetish shooting. It's weird.
Sounds weird.
It's real weird. It's a thing, Chris. I don't know if you know about this, but it's real upsetting.
There's a lot of upsetting things on the internet.
Well, and that segued into somehow because they were joking about how like it looks like in every weird creepy photo Ren Nakai takes on Twitter for like weird like creepy modeling that she does, there's a dude behind the camera telling her like scaring the shit out of her because she just looks always terrified. And then they segued that into they really want to I believe it was Conor Rebush said he really wants to see Conor just abusing Lobov from behind the camera while Artem bakes pies and tries not to cry.
Okay.
Which is like so specific but so funny.
It's suspect because it's so
it's super
specific.
Sus. Yeah, no, it's fucking hilarious. And then they got into talking about how Pat Wyman from Heavy Hands hates Ren Nakai, and it's hilarious because evidently all the Heavy Hands Patreons keep sending in messages being like, I'll donate $50 if you do a segment about Ren Nakai. So I guess at one point, someone brought up Ren Nakai and Pat Wyman just freaked out and was like, we're not talking about Ren Nakai. Let's see. Connor also called Zayn a woke Richard Spencer in this episode, who evidently Richard Spencer is some like neo-Nazi.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Zayn tries real hard to change the subject. It's pretty great. They also made a joke about the Explode Fight series, which is the one where the soccer mom KO'd a chick. And,
oh, yeah, I remember you showed me that.
Yeah, that's a San Diego promotion also. And they they referenced, Connor said at one point, like, we should do a commentary for an entire Explode Fight card. It's like, that would be fucking hilarious.
Any soccer moms listening, go ahead and go sign up with Explode.
That's right. Don't do that. By the way, that promotion doesn't exist anymore. It used to be run on Indian grounds.
The Native American grounds.
Yeah, and that shit died after that soccer mom event. That was the last one
they've
done.
I know. I was just saying,
it's been like 2 years.
You showed me that chick almost pretty much died.
Yeah, well, I've also been trying to go to one of those shows since then, and they haven't done another one. Because I just wanted to do like a weird segment about how fucked up those shows were. Because I heard crazy things about like just like the way the ring was set up versus audience, and how it just was like some weird barnyard shit almost. Which is crazy for San Diego. Anyway, they brought up the Kung Lee movie Pandorum, which is actually supposed to be kind of good.
I saw bits and pieces of it on Netflix. It's like a horror film. I can't remember who else is in it. Like Dennis Quaid, is that his name? That one
maybe, yeah.
Used to be relevant.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was okay. It wasn't bad. It's like I can't remember what it's about, but some space horror movie. But what I've seen Kung Lee in recently is this show on AMC that's airing right now called Into the Badlands. I saw the first season on Netflix. It's from the dudes who did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So the martial arts is pretty on point with choreography, and Kung Lee looks like a badass.
That sounds pretty funny. Well, of course he looks like a badass.
But he's
juiced to the gills.
Yeah, I know. No, because you could tell like his role, dude. I saw him and I was like, dude, I've never seen him that cut even in the UFC. So this is
It's
hilarious.
not just the lighting, Chris.
Oh no, I knew immediately like juiced right when I saw him fighting.
Well, he got popped, but then they were like they fucked up the sample and they didn't keep like a legit copy of it, so they had to let it go.
To be fair, I'm glad fucking Michael Bisping knocked him the fuck out. That was great. That was like 2 years ago, so. They had a great bit about Royson Wee, who's a guy who they were comparing to the two tough China guys. They're talking about Royson Wee, and they said he used to walks through his hometown like Omar in The Wire. It's just like fucking people turning around like dogs just walking away, people closing doors as he walks by. Pretty great. Also Zane Simon has a pretty dope sleeve tat, and I know that because he fixes hair fucking every 10 minutes during this podcast. Oh, so like Alex Jones fighting head.
Yeah, he's got a sleeve, so every time he goes to fix his hair, I have to see his entire sleeve, and then he's just fixing his hair for like 3 minutes at a time every 10 minutes.
Yeah, like I remember you like from the JRE with Alex Jones, he's like this. Yeah, guys, this is great.
Well,
stuff.
except it's less methy looking and more hipster looking.
True.
Yeah. Let's see. Phil, who is Evil Greg Jackson on Twitter, described fighters as quixotic, which perfectly describes that dude. Because that's a great word to use to describe fighters, but no one would do that but Phil.
Yeah, no.
It's fucking so weird, but so perfect. So I love that. Connor called himself Fat Richard Spencer after fucking up Royson Wee's hometown because he realized he's a racist and said he's from like Thailand or something. He's like, fuck, I'm not even like he was calling Zane hipster Richard Spencer, and he's like, fuck, I'm Fat Richard Spencer. Pretty good. And then so the fight with the two tough guys, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. It was just kind of generic. And then this last fight was between Keith Jardine and
Yep, I just watched that. Gegard
Mousasi. And they talked about Breen and Vera's love of conspiracies, which brought on Connor to let us all know that blowing bong hits at chemtrails purifies the atmosphere.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, you talk to any person who's so deep into just the marijuana, they'll tell you how beneficial to your health marijuana is, except to ignore the fact that it's still smoking your lungs. So, yeah.
Actually, bro, technically, if you
It actually cleans your lungs out.
It
it's
does.
Like
if you look into the science, it
like
actually makes you
man.
hack up tar, which is actually helpful for your lungs.
You know what? It's next level shit.
It's definitely next level shit, y'all. Mousasi has an awesome board walkout in this fight, which is great. And then they talk about what's going to be our next break, which is Gegard Mousasi is the mopey teen on Thanksgiving watching Twitch streams. I'm just going to go ahead and let that sentence sit as it is.
Grabbing the turkey and making it into a sandwich.
Yep, it's real good. It's just a great segment. This also brought up the fact that Keith Jardine this week liked my Facebook post, or my Instagram post that I put up, that it says F Reebok, because I started a clothing company in the game MMA Tycoon called Freebok, which, if you look at the logo, is really just F Reebok. And I changed the triangle logo into 3 middle fingers.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty good. It's actually our show art for this week, so check that out. But Keith Jardine liked that picture, which I thought was pretty cool. And then at one point they started talking about how Keith Jardine looks like a Breaking Bad character.
And of course he was.
Yeah, he actually was. Yeah, but they talk about he's also actually an awesome dude. Which, from everything I've heard and the minimal interactions I've had with him, he's been very nice. And they said Jardine would fit in great at a Renaissance fair or as a dude who lived in an RV behind a Renaissance fair.
Yeah, that sounds more apt.
Pretty good. And then they had insane judging in that fucking fight. They gave it was a draw.
Did you tell me the first round was like a 10-8 for Jardine, even though it's absolutely ridiculous?
Yeah, it was a 10-8 for Jardine, despite it being a draw. And then they gave the second round to Jardine, despite him getting punched in the head an insane amount of times. He landed like 29 punches, I think, the entire fight.
Gager landed like 80.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Let's see. I did also have, because you said those are the only ones you listened to this week.
Yeah, of course, it was a bunch of Unfiltered, and then I listened to maybe like 10 minutes of Co-Main from today. But
yeah. I mean, nothing amazing from Co-Main that I remember other than they just talked about great shit.
Yeah, because it doesn't help when there's like an absence of a lot of major fights. I mean, but then again, that's what we have next weekend for, which is one of the greatest lineups I've seen in a while.
Well, plus Co-Main does cool programs where they do like on weeks off they do like tips for the well-rounded fight fan, where they give you Netflix recommendations or shit like that. Let's see. Anik and Florian podcast was interesting, considering Anik just got choked unconscious in a BJJ match overseas.
Oh wow! So
that was crazy hearing his recap of that, but it was kind of interesting. And then they talked about UFC 211, and they had John Hackelman on, of course, from the Bushido Talk podcast, which is the one with Tommy Tohold. Of course, if you don't know John Hackelman, he's the trainer for Chuck Liddell. And so he was on talking about... he actually said on that show that he would only allow 2 fights for Chuck if Chuck was going to come back, because there's all those rumors, because Chuck's looking really good in pictures, like super ripped. And John's like, I would let him come back for 2 fights. But only 2 fights. I'm not going to say who. And then later on Bushido Talk podcast, he's like, the 2 people I actually let him come back for, and it has to be for $3 million or more.
Well, one of them is probably, what's his face? Vitor, right?
Nope. Hoist Gracie or Ken Shamrock.
Oh.
Because he's going to take 0 damage and get $3 million.
Yeah.
So, fucking everybody calm down on Chuck Liddell coming back. That shit's not going to happen. You're all
so
goddamn
Vitor's
Lobos.
fighting Nate Marquardt at 212 now.
Yeah, that's...
it's not fun.
I mean, it is what it is. That's about all I have to say about that one.
Fuck USADA, by the way, for what they did to Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, fuck USADA for what they did to Kelvin Gastelum. Because
I was waiting, I was
bullshit.
eagerly waiting to see a Gastelum absolutely murder Silva.
Yeah, we talked about this before, but Luke Thomas put out an amazing video on YouTube, if you go look at his YouTube channel, that perfectly and succinctly sums up why it's totally fucked what they did to that dude. Let's see.
Was it 9 months, by the way, or 6? I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's alright. I don't remember.
Okay.
Raging Ally Quinta was on Chael Sonnen's podcast and just spitting fire like he always does. It's real good.
I think, you know what? I think I did listen to his portion, because remember he was talking about
real good.
The best part of the fight is the ride home. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Is that from this week or last week?
Yeah, no, he's like shitting on. He's like, what the fuck fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, of course it is. You own a fucking private jet.
Yeah.
So angry. I loved it. It was just super angry Alec went It was amazing. Stitch Duran and Jorge Masvidal were both on MMAJunkie Radio. It was awesome because Stitch Duran came on just after the Vladimir Klitschko heavyweight fight that he was the cornerman for. So if you don't know, Stitch is the longtime cornerman of Vladimir Klitschko. And Vladimir actually told Stitch before the fight, he like leaned over to Stitch and he's like, you can call me son. Right before the fight started, which is like a pretty fucking rad moment that like you never would have known unless he went on that show. And Stitch is just a great dude. Like if you've never heard Stitch on MMAJunkie Radio, you should go back and listen to a bunch of his episodes because he's been on forever, and he loves those guys because they're both super Latino like he is. And they actually had Stitch and the dude he looks like, the actor, fucking super Scarface Latino dude, who was on How Do I Teach These Kids?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that Edward James Olmos movie?
Edward James Olmos.
What was that called?
Edward James Olmos and Stitch actually did a segment on MMAJunkie one time.
Oh, no way. I always remember when I used to work at P.F. Chang's, I actually saw Edward James Olmos. He was actually
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when South Park made fun of episode, and Cartman played him.
Yep. Pretty good. Let's see. Jordan Breen show had some good moments this week, as always. If I remember right, well, I know TJ's had like the fucking flu all week and been sick as shit.
TJ DeSantis?
Yeah, it's been fucking up some of the Sherdog production. But if I remember right, Jordan Breen was talking about who the RG3 of MMA is.
Ooh, let me think. I'd honestly say at this point Habib, only because he just hasn't really fought that much.
Yeah, but he's been way too successful.
Oh, well, yeah. See, the RG3, to be fair, won Rookie of the Year and looked great, but then injuries killed him.
Yeah,
so
that's why they went with, like, Brandon Vera was a contender.
Yeah, who did they say?
I'm trying to remember all the people they brought. I mean, they all, of course...
Miles Jury? Well, Miles Jury's back and looks good, though.
Yeah, all their references are from way further back. Because they would, like, for that stuff, from what I remember, they generally picked, like, dudes who, like, Brandon Vera types, you know, who, like, were a while back and who showed up strong on the scene, but then just kind of died off. I'm trying to remember more of them, but I can't.
That's all good.
They actually talk about the Nogueira versus Sapp pile driver, which was almost 15 years ago. They actually talk a lot about that fight, which is amazing. Have you ever seen that, Nogueira versus Sapp?
No, I need to watch more of the Pride stuff.
Holy shit, yeah, you do. Maybe we'll do a commentary for Nogueira versus Sapp or something. We'll see. Let's see. They discuss how new MMA fans pretty soon aren't going to know who Bonner and Griffin are.
Yeah,
and they're not going to know that fight, which is
right.
crazy because they were realizing like people don't know or like starting not to know some of the early like UFC stuff, like when Vitor was blitzing Vanderlei in like UFC Brazil and like back in like UFC 17.5 or whatever that was, and like all the old school shit. And they also talked about how Jordan Breen can't do a show on Friday because he's watching Baby Raccoons.
To be fair, it's probably kind of interesting to watch that.
Fucking, no, not watching them, like, looking at them, watching them, like, taking care of them. Because fucking Canada.
Yeah.
Canadians are crazy.
You know, it actually sounded like kind of fun, but also stressful, though, too. Cause
except for how he started talking about how to make baby raccoons go to the bathroom, you have to rub their junk with a warm cloth.
Okay, yeah, I'm not down with that.
Yep, that's what I tapped out as well. It was pretty upsetting. Heavy Hands did a great Patreon episode where they talked about 5-rounders in MMA. And they also mentioned that everyone DJ has fought never fought 5 rounds other than Joby won.
Oh, by the way, real quick, speaking of DJs, shout out to Demetrius Johnson in my theater and film class earlier this week. There was a person named Demetrius Johnson in my class giving a presentation, and when I saw it on the board, I heard other people go, what the fuck? So it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. I should have yelled that out, too.
How tall is he?
Like 5'9".
Oh, yeah, you could definitely take him in a fight then. Anyway, 5 Rounds Podcast did a great segment with Ryan Hall. They talked about Raging Al, which was hilarious.
I think everyone will be talking about
they talked because that was the week when Raging Al was going off. Don't worry, next week will be very similar because he went off again. They talked about the Reebok deal, USADA, Frank Mir. I love Ryan. He's super smart, and his interviews are always fucking awesome. And Brett Okamoto actually said after he got off the show, he's like, normally we have journalists on the show, but fucking Ryan Hall sounds like a journalist when you talk to him. Because he's so smart, and just so succinct and like,
thank you
well-spoken.
ESPN for not firing Brett Okamoto.
Fucking thank you, because he's the best person you have on staff when it comes to MMA. By far. Is real good. So... let's see. I have a couple more.
Mario Lopez. I can't remember what fighter.
We'll talk to that. Oh, give me 1 second.
No. I was just making a comment. Some fighter, UFC fighter on Instagram, had a picture with him training Mario Lopez.
Yeah.
And someone said, "Bro, Mario Lopez is bigger than you."
Mario Lopez is kind of
but he's one of those like I know he's not an actor. He's like a Hollywood personality.
No, yeah, but he was a high school wrestling. He was a high level high school wrestler. And college
people just don't
wrestler,
realize he's an athlete because he's like a Hollywood person. That's
but
why.
he's also trains at Wildcard Boxing under Freddie Roach.
No, he's a legit. He can legit box.
Yeah, so they had him on to talk about boxing, which was fucking awesome.
It's just because people just see him behind the camera with makeup on, so they assume he's like some bitch.
He was shitting on Big Brown about the Connor shit. He's like, you fucking... It's insulting, Brendan. Like, you really think Connor's gonna... He's like, man, it's a win if Connor just goes to the decision. He's like, that's insane to think that.
Oh, no, it is.
He's like, he even said, he's like, you know what? I could be very wrong, but let's definitely make a bet on this fight. But evidently he has a podcast called the 3 Knockdown Rule Podcast, which I absolutely want to check out. Dude's very knowledgeable in the sport and knows most of these guys through just connections and being around LA forever. Like he knows both Canelo and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Sr.
Nice.
So he had a lot to say on that, and it was just a good segment. Smart dude. I really enjoyed it. Let's see. I mentioned the UFC 211 headliner podcast that
by the way,
Tyron Woodley and them did.
By the way, for next week, I remember you mentioned this months ago. Are we still drinking Steel Reserve 211?
Oh, yeah, we are. We know we are.
Oh, shit.
Let's see. Oh, Bisbing had a good episode this week. Also, heads up, at one point, Bisbing did a podcast over the last couple weeks. I was catching up on his, where he talked about...
I listen to more of those.
Yeah, he talked about doing mushrooms on one of them.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I did mushrooms once. It's fucked up. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't feeling it, and then all of a sudden I was really fucked up. My mates were just like, "Hey, eat this fucking mushroom out of a cow patty in the field."
Yeah.
Jesus, that's how people die. The Outsiders podcast, they just took a bunch of mail questions and talked about the early days. They talked about the riot. They were both in at one of the early shows, and they talked a lot about Paul Blantello for some reason. Sean Funky and Baddest Man was a great episode. If you guys didn't see, Ben Askren did a parody video of the Paige Van Zandt thing, and sent out some tweets making fun of her. Angela Hill still has my favorite tweet, which is like the call 1-800-HOT-GIRL if you want to talk to hot girls or whatever the fuck she said.
Like,
yeah, because you know what video I'm talking about, right? You haven't seen the Paige Van Zandt video?
Probably not.
Oh, Chris.
I just see that goofy-ass commercial where she's, like, running around for some Metro PCS.
Oh, no, Chris. We're going to watch this live on the show.
Dude, you got to clear out your inbox.
Oh, yeah. No, don't mind the 15,000.
16,000.
Yeah. Paige Van Zandt Reebok video. Here you go. Deleted sexy Reebok video.
What the fuck is
Let's
this?
go ahead and just let this play, Chris. Let me know what you think.
I have something amazing to share with you.
What was this? So it's from her Snapchat.
Nope, Instagram.
Or Instagram. Well,
and white
I see.
Cutest freaking clothes ever. Look at these shoes. Yep.
Dude, this is like such boring looking fucking lame shoes.
So,
Also,
you want
what is she doing?
Yeah, what is she fucking doing the whole time?
Go to the link in my bio.
Also, why is she talking like that?
I know, it's pretty amazing. It's like, remember we made fun of from Fight Valley? So am I gonna fight?
I like it. Yeah. It's really
Wait, can I see the comments, please? Because they're going to be really cancerous.
Oh, they're definitely
No,
gone.
they're going to be really cancerous.
PVZ versus BBC. Yep. Nope, that's all we need to look at. PVZ versus BBC is all the comments we need to see on YouTube.
I knew it. That's the only thing I like about YouTube, though. I will never like the comments, but there's always someone who's pretty clever.
PVZ versus BBC is pretty good. But yeah, that's real upsetting. So everyone's been making fun of her. They talked about that. They talked about, Ronda Rousey's history in the sport. Talked about why Anderson Silva is aggressively campaigning for a middleweight shot.
Maybe because he's old.
Well, yeah. But it was just a good episode, like all their episodes. Nice. I just really enjoy that show. And then also, of course, Ben Askren, or not Ben Askren, Sean Lealock commentated Victory FC 57, actually tonight when we're recording this, so pretty rad. And the only other show I wanted to mention briefly was, what the fuck, bro? How have you not mentioned the Nate Diaz that hour-long sit-down with Ariel Helwani this week, you fuck?
Well, I didn't actually watch
I
just watched clips.
Chris, have you ever been sitting at a lunch table and you look around the room and your buddy's like, who do you want to fight? And you're like, man, I don't really want to fight anybody. That's rude. Because that's my new favorite Nick Diaz quote, motherfucker. Or Nate Diaz quote, motherfucker.
The only thing I just read the news about it, like basically saying, why should they have me fighting all the people that Connor's supposed to fight? Blah blah blah. And I agree with this point. But what I do disagree with is he keeps saying. Don't get me wrong. I know he has a lot of fans. But I don't think he pulls pay-per-view numbers like he thinks he does. But then again, that's his confidence.
That's bullshit. He does pull fat pay-per-view numbers. He's never been on pay-per-view. The only time he pulls huge numbers, but it's only been cable. Because they've never put him in a pay-per-view slot before. Okay. The only pay-per-view slot they put him in was against Connor, and he killed it both times.
Yeah. But that's why he says that. So he's
Same
not.
With Nick, though.
This is the thing. He's not wrong.
Nick pulls huge numbers.
This is the thing. He's not wrong, but I still do want to see him at least be on a pay-per-view that's not against Connor, and then we'll see. I'm sure it's still. True. I would still watch. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan.
He ain't gonna take that fight.
I know. And that's what I don't like. That's the thing. I don't like that after he fought Connor, he's just like, oh, give me more money. I'm sorry, dude. If I'm him, I'm taking that Tony Ferguson fight.
Fuck that. It's not worth it to him. And I love the point he made in this podcast, which is like, yo, you guys know Connor and Tony have the same manager, right? You know that's why they want me to fight fucking Tony, right? Is because that way it knocks off either Connor gets mad
because
money.
That's one less person Connor has to worry about.
And the manager gets triple the money.
You get triple the money.
Because then rather than just getting one piece of the money, he then gets piece of that fight, whoever Connor fights.
Don't get me wrong. I agree that he should get paid. But I also still just at least want to see him fight Tony Ferguson because I would love to see Tony Ferguson.
I want to see that fight, but I want to see that fight after Connor fucking defends a belt.
Oh, but that won't happen.
Right, but if Nate Diaz takes the fucking belt off Connor and then Tony Ferguson, that would be, well, first off, that'll happen if they ever fucking fight for it.
Who, you think, wait, you're saying you think Nate would beat Tony? I think Tony
No,
would beat
I think Nate would beat, actually, I think he beats the both of them.
Really? I know he beats Connor if they fight a third time.
I think Nate's real big for Tony, and Nate as bad as the only thing that would be interesting in that fight is how much Tony implements his wrestling game. Yeah. Tony's got a really underrated wrestling game, and Nate has big wrestling game problems.
I mean, the reason why I was thinking of Tony was just the wrestling and on his back. He's good on his back, and I don't know, I know Diaz is the better boxing and the striking, but
way better boxing. But Tony has better kicks. It'd be a really interesting fight. It'd be one of my. It'd be up there with Nurmi and Tony. Although
for anticipated fights,
yeah, but I'm a sucker for the 155 division. That's by far my favorite division. Always has been since Jen Pulver, BJ Penn beat the fuck out of each other.
Oh yeah.
Or actually, since Jen Pulver showed up on the scene, I'm super biased. Yeah, I love 155. But it was a great interview. We'll actually have a Nate clip here in our. Actually, we're not gonna have a third segment. Fuck.
I mean, you did mention live.
Oh, you know what though?
Commentating that fight.
That's right. Well, I have a second plan for this. So we'll use a Nate segment in an upcoming thing we post because I've got a couple ideas. Because I'm a fucking. I got some plans, y'all. You gonna get some content? How you like them contents, y'all? All right. Anyway,
as long as it's not downloadable.
No. Wait, what?
It's a joke against downloaded content, you know, like for people who play games, you know how they always like micromanage and
I got you.
I
got your DLC joke, bro.
Yeah.
You tone it down with your microtransactions.
No, if we were EA or Ubisoft, we'd be asking our listeners
for sure.
money.
No, yeah, you mean Patreon?
Yeah, like there you go.
Right, Patreon is the DLC of podcasts. That's fucked up. Anyway, we will go ahead and wrap this segment here because we're getting off the rails. But it's actually worth it, though. It's like good DLC. Because there's such a thing as good DLC if it's actually good content.
There is, yeah.
Anyway, like FTL. FTL is good. Also, I've been watching Firefly. That show's real good.
Yeah, too bad it got canceled. That was
it's amazing.
That was a tragedy.
I'm like so I never watched it. I'm like 3/4 of the way through the first season. Don't fucking.
No.
I will choke you out, Cody Garbrandt style right now.
I'm not spoiling it. All I'm gonna say is once you're done with that season, watch the movie.
No, I know.
Serenity.
I know, and I've also been watching it in the correct order without the spoilers.
Good. Okay.
I've got a very nerdy girlfriend who's very aware of the right way to watch it. So. And it's her like 18th time watching it, so it's real good though. Oh my god. Something about the Jamestown is real good. That's a real good episode. Anyway, we'll be back here in this next segment. We're going to talk about, holy shit, the UFC card that happened like 8 weeks ago. What was that, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
What card was that even?
Like Nashville?
Yeah, UFC Nashville. Who was that? Oh, Lobov Swanson.
Which, actually, I didn't even see that card because I think I was out of town.
Interesting.
I don't
well,
even remember.
We will watch some highlights, evidently, before we talk about it. And we'll talk about that briefly, and then we will give you a heads up about the upcoming content we're going to put out, hopefully this week. So we'll be right back.
This is such a Mousasi walkout is so core Mousasi. Like
just him like walking out like it's this is interesting.
Like he's put his hand out, and it's like that like I'm depressed, but like I know I have to do this, so
he could barely muster the enthusiasm to bend down 3 more inches to high five his adoring fans.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, okay, you know, I know, guys. I know I'm supposed to do this.
I just woke up, guys. Could you keep it down?
Yeah.
Jesus. Gegard Mousasi is absolutely like the he would be a perfect American teenager who like comes down to Thanksgiving dinner to like make a quick turkey sandwich and then goes back to his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like a mopey teen. That is Gegard.
And even if you like spied on him, all you would see is him on the computer looking dead-faced with headphones on, listening to like...
He's just like emotionlessly watching a Twitch stream.
Yeah, exactly.
not enjoying it to any degree that another person can tell.
And then you know like in IM and like in actual conversations online, he's like really emotional and like
he's like LMAO, I'm dying with 6 G's, and he's just blank-facedly staring at the screen. You gotta love Gegard.
All right, that was a clip from the MMA Depress Us podcast, which I'm a huge fan of. We just went through and watched the Sherdog Fight Night 108 Swanson vs. Lobov card, which overall is pretty good, dude, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm going to go and tell you all the truth. We didn't watch the first episode, or the first fight, rather.
The first fight, yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck Hector Sandoval did other than win.
Knocked him the fuck out.
Evidently.
If it's not TKO, it means you're gonna knock the fuck out.
Yeah, we probably should have just watched that since it was not very long into
moving
that fight.
on, Brian Bam Bam Barberena versus Joe Proctor.
Yeah. Oh, man.
This was cool. I like this fight.
Yeah, it was.
I liked it at the end too when they told each other let's stand and bang, even though it's lost in round 1. It seemed like a long fight to me. For some reason.
what's his face in general. Brian Barberena in general. He's always a fun guy to watch, and man, yeah, he just basically Joe Proctor
was like,
waved
hit
him
me.
in,
Yeah, motherfucker,
saying "Come on, motherfucker," and then Brian Barberena just straight bodied him. Diaz
just the right clean on his fucking jaw.
Yeah,
Lights out.
That was kind of a wrap. He hit that big right and then just finished the fuck up. Oh man, it was
that was fun. And then, what'd you think of Alexis Davis and Cindy Mom Dandois?
What did you think of Alexis Davis and Cindy Dandois? Because I'll let you go first on this.
It was a weird fight. I like the grappling exchange.
A weird fight is a good one. That's actually, Chris, I totally agree with you on that. Grappling exchanges were awesome. The striking exchanges sucked.
That's why it was weird, yeah.
It was terrible.
Cindy Dandois was just like, not even putting her hips in her throat. She wasn't even turning her hands the right way. Like, it was weird,
and the real issue was Alexis Davis wasn't committing to shit either.
Yeah. She'll, clench a knee, 3 times. I'm tired.
She would bang She would bang Cindy Dandois with an overhand and then just fucking back off and let her clinch. Yeah. It was the weirdest shit of all time. It was, I definitely agree Alexis Davis got that win, but... Man,
wasn't a fun fight.
Not fun to watch.
This fight was pretty fun, and initially, I know you said you thought Jessica Penne won.
I'm still not convinced Jessica Penne lost. However, it's very close. It all comes down to that second round pretty clearly. Yeah. It was very close. Daniel Taylor, Jessica Penne, good fight overall.
Do you see why people were saying John Dodson from afar?
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. Now we're looking at the shirt I picture a little bit. But it was pretty close, man. Jessica Penne did real good.
Split. I know that sounds dumb when you say it like that.
Well, not even that, but it all comes down to that second round. Jessica Penne pretty clearly won the first round. Daniel Taylor pretty clearly won the second round or the third round. It all comes down to what you think of clinch and striking control in the clinch and ground versus Daniel Taylor's couple of big punches that she hit on Jessica Penne's arms. I still probably give it to Jessica Penne just because I think a lot of the big landed strike counts that were shown were mostly because they landed Jessica Penne's arms. Because if you guys don't know, strike counts by fight metric at least are judged on strikes landed to the arms, not strikes landed to the face. So if you land a strike to the arms, that still counts as a landed strike. If you throw an overhand to the arm, that counts as a significantly landed strike, even if you landed at the fucking arm.
Yeah.
And Cindy Dandois, Daniel Taylor threw a lot of combos where she threw fucking just mad hooks at Jessica Penne's fucking elbows and forearms. Yeah. They did score points. They are her moving forward and throwing punches, but I feel like Jessica Penne overall probably got the better of the striking exchanges if I was to add that up. But
yeah, because Taylor to me just kind of had the inside dirty boxing kind of. I'm gonna dart in real quick and just be more explosive, and then that's it. Because that's because she's smaller.
But shorter. But also that could go either way, so I'm not really mad at it.
Either way, that fight it was entertaining for the most part, but it's crazy.
Yeah, Scott Holtzman and Michael McBride. Holy fuck, Scott Holtzman put the paces to Michael McBride. Man. Unfortunately, we did not get to see much of the Brandon Moreno win.
The baby assassin, my favorite prospect. Yeah. He's not a prospect, but this motherfucker. Well, he's not a contender yet. At this point, he might as well be a contender in this division. Yeah.
At this point, he's a Thomas
Almeida. He's only 23 years old, man. This kid's fucking dismantling top 10 talent.
He's killing dudes. Yeah. And he got that technical sub over by RNC over Dustin Ortiz.
No shame.
That was a tough fucking fight, man.
Because Ortiz clearly won the first round.
It was a really tough fight, but he just was able to slap it on and get it. Talis Sam Alvey. This is a weird fight because Sam Alvey broke his leg in the fucking first exchange of this fight. Right, yeah. And then Talis kind of just put the paces on him. It was a weird fight. I love Sam Alvey and I love this podcast, so I'm gonna be super biased, but I'm not sure Talaslesh won that fight, even though Sam Alvey was super broken.
To be fair, I don't think Talaslesh should be fighting, but
I think Talaslesh won that probably 29-28, but it was like way closer than it should have been to be fighting a dude with a broken leg.
Yeah.
And I think if Sam Alvey didn't legit break the shit out of his leg and being in a fight, he would have killed him. Mike Perry, Jake Ellenberger. How do you like them elbows, sir?
This is a fun fight.
How do you like them elbows?
I liked him a lot, man. I liked what Perry had. He wasn't... Obviously, he's not a guy who's going to be ever afraid to exchange with anyone in a stand-up.
Never,
He's a tough son
ever.
of a motherfucking bitch.
He also, on, I forget which podcast it was, but I believe it was the Chill Sonny You're Welcome podcast, where they were both on, and he yelled at Mike Perry yelled at Jake Ellenberger, I will fucking knock you out by hitting you with a punch and elbow and then knee you in the fucking face. And then he didn't even need the knee or the punch. He just fucking elbowed him in the face. He's like, you're gonna be real embarrassed when I called this out and then finish you with it. And he's not wrong.
He wasn't wrong.
He
good on
nailed
you,
it.
Mike Perry. That was very entertaining finish to the fight.
It was really impressive.
How about this? Stevie Ray Vaughan versus our favorite Joe Lozon.
Yeah.
I agreed with this, but very not slim.
It was close. It was very
The
close.
fact that they called it majority is pretty fair because it was close, because they did call it one of the rounds a draw, which I think we both of us agreed on. One of those rounds was a draw.
I don't think I had it a draw,
Or was that another fight we were talking about?
I could see.
Was that another fight we were talking about?
I think so. But for Stevie Ray and Joe Lozon, I mean, that was very cool. That second round could have gone either way. But Joe Lozon had a very, very, very convincing 10-8. In the first round, if it's under the new rules, I don't think Stevie Ray necessarily had a convincing 10-8 under the new rules. In the third round, so it's a close contest, but I could see how you would give it Stevie Ray's direction. Good performance by both dudes. John Dodson took on Eddie Wineland, basically just John Dodson him. I mean, I don't think there's any part of this that's even really discussable, other than the fact that it was exactly what you thought it would be, right?
Yeah.
Like, John Dodson basically just picked the better shots, and Eddie Wineland struggled with the footwork.
Yeah, he was just backpedaling the whole fight. He was backpedaling the whole fight.
Well, that and he was just throwing overhands that John Dodson was clearly going to be able to slip and blast him on the counter. I would have liked to have seen more active John Dodson in that fight, but overall, very impressive performance. OSP versus Marco Rogério de Lima. I feel like people are forgetting about the fact that Marcos Rogério de Lima fucked up OSP in the first round pretty badly.
No, very true. Yeah, he had those good hard shots. He had like those lead forward, low body kicks, and then he exchanged them to the right hand, and then like jab him, and back outside, away from the cage.
He fucked him up pretty bad.
Yeah, he had some good combos.
And then that second round started off. OSP got the takedown, got to side control, and then slapped on the fucking Von Flu choke. We'll go ahead and switch to the next fight, which is the opposite of that impression. Elia Quinta and Diego Sanchez.
This is fucking fun to watch.
So, Chris, from everything I've heard, there are 4 performance bonuses given out tonight. There is the Mike Perry performance bonus. There is the Cub Swanson performance bonus.
Okay.
There is the OSP performance bonus. Okay. And there is the Artem Lobov performance bonus.
That makes no sense.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, where's my boy Iaquinta?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's focusing on OSP and mostly Mike Perry, when really Iaquinta should have gotten the bonus instead of fucking Artem Lobov. Because we're not a bunch of goddamn amateurs, and just because you get a main event doesn't mean you get an extra $50K. What the fuck are we doing? We'll talk about that in a second, but what the fuck? Iaquinta killed Diego Sanchez in this fight.
By the way, do you think Sanchez retires, or he has too much heart?
No, he posted on Instagram that he has the lion heart, and that he's winners only come from losses.
Well, who the fuck does he fight? Lightweight.
I don't know, man. He fights for survival. I don't know. I love Diego, which makes it way tougher.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to bum myself out about that
Let's not
one,
think
but
about it. We'll skip it. But yeah, either way.
But Iaquinta, holy shit!
I hope Iaquinta doesn't get released from the UFC. I don't even think the UFC will do it anyway, even if he asked for it, because he's been talking shit.
Iaquinta put the fucking heat to Diego Sanchez.
Where do you think Iaquinta belongs? UFC or a different organization, promotion they'll pay him?
I would love to see him in Ryzen, honestly.
What about Bellator?
Yeah. No,
That'd be fun.
He's a Bellator champ.
Would he win that lightweight division?
Yeah.
Wait, so he'd beat, what's his name?
Pitbull?
Michael Chandler?
No, Chandler, you're right.
No,
Chandler's got the belt right now, right?
Chandler beat Iaquinta?
No, I think Iaquinta beats Chandler.
Really?
I just see him mixing it up better and getting the better of the exchanges. I don't see.
I know because I know Chandler beat Benson, but Benson's not really in his prime that he was before.
Well, but Chandler is a beast, but Iaquinta is a similar kind of beast.
Then again, to be fair, Iaquinta's been getting nothing but better for the past 5 years.
Well, that's the thing is Iaquinta's.
I forgot about that too. Dude, that's a good point. He's been getting real good.
He's real young and he's in the gym every day.
Yeah, he's like 29.
Anyway, we should move away from that. But Iaquinta. Big ass K over Diego Sanchez, and very impressive performance on Twitter this week for Cinco de Mayo as well. And then lastly, Cub Swanson, Artem Lobov. What the fuck, man?
Well, he was born in Russia and forged in Ireland.
Everyone gave Artem Lobov more credit for this fight than he deserved.
I'll give him credit for one thing. He
sure
makes a good punching bag.
Yeah, which is why you understand why he turns with Connor.
Yeah, that's what happens if you're someone's punching bag. Of course, you're gonna have a chin for now. So yeah, that's why he survived. Did he do anything effective? Yeah, like the first round, and then after they checked out,
he almost won that first round. You said he even gave him the first round.
I did.
Right?
No, he had like a takedown, and he had some good ground and pound. No, he actually looked way better than he ever did, and that's when he peaked. In his whole career up to that moment, that sounds really fun, but he literally peaked. Like right there, he literally looked legitimately looked like a contender in that 30 seconds.
I don't disagree.
Of fighting.
I don't disagree.
And then that was it. Then he checked out.
I don't disagree, other than the fact that I don't think he won that round. It was close, but I don't think he won it.
Oh, no. This thing, I could still, if someone said 50-45, I'm not going to say no. But if someone said he won that, I'm like, okay.
But the rest of that was just Swanson beating the fuck out of Artem as Artem gas.
And then, like, every 30 punches, Artem would land, like, one big shot, but it wouldn't matter.
It was,
Either way, it was a fight that I didn't expect to go how it went.
We'll go ahead and end it there on that segment, but we will be back.
By the way, I forgot to plug this earlier. We mentioned it before. Go to my website if you want. You don't have to. cjmjournalist.com/blog.
Oh, shit. Look who's got a website finally.
To go ahead and look at my story package. Once you go to the website, just press the tab that says the MMA routine. That is my story I did for my class. If you want to just go ahead and check the site out.
Perfect, man. I will definitely check that out as well. So we'll have all that up there. We'll start getting Chris to start posting our MMA bullshit podcast that we do. And oh man, we're gonna have all kinds of dumb fun content for you guys coming forward.
And next week is Steel Reserve 211 week.
That's right, y'all. If y'all don't like Steel Reserve, maybe skip next week. If y'all don't like the beer,
but I do now.
211, maybe skip next week. If y'all like good content and drunk motherfuckers,
then grab some 211.
Welcome to the party, bitches. Because next week at UFC 211, we're gonna have a motherfucking event about this shit. And
let's just hope that no one gets injured because this card looks too good to be true.
That's exactly what I've been thinking, Chris. So, y'all have heard it, and we will be back next week with all kinds of chaos. Look forward to that, and until next time, go do something decadent. We out.